Yes, this is my aesthetic now.
Please stand by.
Oh, hello there. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a little bit of a time. December has been kind of tricky. I had a whole big work event. I had technical trouble. I've had sickness. I've had health. I've had, you know, just a lot of really unexpected things happen in December. So, hello. It's been like 2 weeks since I've uploaded a video, and we're coming back with a biggin. Biggin? And biggin! No one plays Avengers. Including me. I just keep seeing people play Avengers. Anyway, hi, I'm Amy, and if you didn't know, we have no idea what this channel is. We're just trying some crazy ideas to see what works. It is the holidays, and me personally, I celebrate Christmas. With that usually comes a Christmas tree. Now, I've never had a real tree, and I really have no desire to have a real tree, which is, to some people, super controversial. This year, I was browsing Etsy, as one does, and I came across a subset of Etsy that is all of these super fancy dress form Christmas trees. I was taken aback. Had my breath taken away. I was intrigued. I saw these dresses and I thought, that looks super cool. But the problem is that they were just dress form Christmas trees. And me, being the person that I am, I wanted to actually wear a Christmas tree. That is right, friends. I want to become the Christmas tree this year. I haven't had a Christmas tree in I don't know how long. I think the entire time I've lived in Los Angeles, I have not had a Christmas tree.
That's a lie. I've had this Charlie Brown Christmas tree since like the year after I graduated high school. Ignore the paint. But I've had this tree.
Why not decide to become the thing that you have been lacking? That is a metaphor for life, actually. Become the thing that you lack. Become the person you want to be. Become the Christmas tree you have always dreamed of. Motivational speaking with Amy. Anywho, I've always wanted to do a series on this channel called something along the lines of But Make It Fashion. And the idea is to take something, anything, and make it into one of those like high fashion-esque garments that you see walk down a runway, or like they make on Project Runway, where you're like, no one can wear this anywhere, but I still kind of want it. So I decided as a gift to myself, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to make myself a high fashion, quotes to high fashion because Lord knows what I know about fashion, a high fashion Christmas tree dress. The idea is that you cannot wear this anywhere, but you should. So what are the pieces of this dress that we need to put together? Obviously, the big showstopper is going to be the skirt. So for the skirt, we have a couple options. We could do a short cocktail dress and do like more of a party dress-esque Christmas tree. We could do like a floor-length gown, like one of those long drapey numbers. Or we can do what I call the cupcake dress. You know, when you get those undercarriages, undergarments, like a petticoat, and it gives you that poof, you know, how every woman wants to look like a cupcake, that kind of look. So I think it depends on what we want for the top and what makes sense to balance out whatever shape we're doing up top. Christmas has a couple different colors. You can do white, red, and silver. You can do white, green, and gold. You can do white, silver, gold. You can do red, green, gold. I think it depends on what we're going for. I think if we wanted to look like a snow queen Christmas tree, like one of those frosted trees, you know, that have like the white snowy look to them, I think then we would do something silver or white up top. There's a couple different options if we want to do something like that. I was looking some stuff up before starting to film this video, and what I was noticing as I was looking at tops, because as we know from previous videos, I'm not great at sewing, and one of my goals for 2021 and beyond is to start to get better at sewing, because I would really like to be able to make more of these but make it fashion pieces. But since this is the holidays, I thought as a Christmas gift to myself, I would let myself purchase a top that matches, so that it was one less step for me to do in this month of heck. So that means that we're purchasing a top. And when I was looking around to see kind of what options were available to me, I realized I wanted it to fit to the body really well so that this part did not distract from the skirt. Because the thing is, if there was too much volume in the actual like top body portion, I felt like we would end up looking really bulky. We wouldn't have a waist, there would be no definition, and it would be too much. And I still wanted it to look like something someone would actually wear, even if they would go there and people would be like, the heck, this was business casual. You know? That kind of vibe. So I thought, why not a bodysuit or some kind of slim fitting top with an accent sleeve? Now I can make an accent sleeve depending on what we wanted, but I was having trouble deciding, and I'm still having trouble deciding exactly what I want. The options I think we have is to go no sleeve and have like the collarbone area be accentuated, and then maybe do some kind of like puff from the sleeve. If I can find that picture again, I mean something like this. While I could make something like that, this would be more the option that I would go with, and they have it in red or white. Otherwise, we could do like a full slim fit, and if we did something like that, I think it would be more of that like the boat neck, sweetheart boat neck sort of thing that leaves all of this bare and just tight fitting sleeves. And I kind of think I'm leaning towards the sleeve option because I really think that that will make it look more like a gown. The kind of classic Christmas gown look that I think I'm going for. The other option that I really like, aside from those, is like a bell sleeve. So not like this, where it's just like a lot of sleeve, but like the ones that are tight around your wrist and like bow out from the top of the shoulder and just leave you with these big fabric tubes for arms, I guess. Every sleeve is a fabric tube. We should just call them fabric tubes. Like, why not? Why not call it a fabric tube? I'm getting off topic, like I always do. I want to find something for the head. I don't know. I thought like maybe a tiara, maybe a hair accessory, like something to bring about the tree topper. And so we could do stars. We could do like something angelic. I think it will depend on what I can find and how fancy the rest of this ends up looking. So for the skirt, what I know bar none is that it's going to be made with garland. And the garland I'm hoping to get at Michael's because I know that they're having a sale in a few days. And if I can get that, then it will just depend on how much garland we need to cover whatever skirt piece that we're doing. And I'm gonna have to guesstimate a little bit because I'm not gonna have the pieces in time to buy the other thing because I am poor at planning. And then I know I want to have some kind of decoration. I don't know if we want to get some sparkle garland or if we want to get ornaments, or I think it will depend on what colors are available once I find the color of top that I want. And once I can find that, I can pick out what the other accessories are going to be to complement that top. That being said, I do think one of the things that I've liked most about these dress form Christmas trees that I've seen is the big bows at the waist. So I do know I want some kind of belt, some kind of waist accessory to simulate the wrappings of a present. So we are going to have to find some kind of ribbon, some kind of belt, something to cover to make it look like I'm just like a little gift wrap present tree. Instead of a gift wrap present under your tree, I am the tree that is the present? I don't know where I was going with that. I feel like it was nowhere good. Back on track. Hi, it's a little while later because it took me a while to get all of these pieces. We talked before about kind of what the aesthetic I was going for is, and we settled on green, red, gold, like really classic, campy winter colors. So I had to find all those pieces. And then they had to get here. We're gonna go over what we actually ended up with, okay? Okay, so we knew we were gonna get a petticoat, and I opened it, and now I can't put it back. It's a tent. Like, this is a legitimate tent. I'm trying to think of what I look like other than just like having my head be the cherry on top of one of those really cartoon-esque cupcakes, but I think that's the most accurate description of what this is. I'm a little cupcake, short and stout. This is my frosting. A head will pop out. I don't even know. This should fit fine. It's an adjustable back, so like I can pull it to be exactly how big I want. I'll show you this. I made an add-on to the waist of my dress form so that it can actually fit to about what my waist is. So when I put The garland on this, it will be mostly adjustable. I'm debating whether or not I need to cut the garland so that I can tie in and out, but I think I'll be okay. We'll see. We're gonna see. We went with a cupcake shape because I thought it would give the most Christmas tree-esque silhouette, and I thought it would just be the most dramatic and be really fun. I also am pretty much counting on this to be my Christmas tree this year because I don't have a Christmas tree, and I figure if I'm going to the trouble to making this dress, it's gonna be my Christmas tree. And you know, when the inspiration was those like dress form Christmas trees, so pretty much we're just making one of those that you can actually wear. We have this, which is 2.5-inch ribbon, and this is going to attach to our belt. So this is going to be the cover for our belt to be around the waist, and I'm going to make a gigantic bow out of this to be our back piece. We'll talk about belt construction when that happens. It's going to be a little bit of an experiment, but I'm hoping that it will work. Our next thing being this gigantic thing of ornaments. We have green, red, gold, some are glitter, some are like shine, satin finish, and some are clear. These are going to decorate our skirt. I think it will give it a little bit more of that high fashion couture kind of look, because what I'm hoping for out of this is we're not looking for something wearable. We're looking for something wowable. I know we talked about like what color scheme, what kind of top, and I wanted to go as classic Christmas as possible, and so we ended up with a very classic silhouette, because my worry with some of the options that I looked at was that it wouldn't feel as Christmassy even with the Christmas skirt. So I wanted it to feel like old-fashioned fashion Christmas. So we ended up with this. Express was having a sale, and so we ended up with this, which is actually a bodysuit, but it's a poofy sleeve with a bunch of lace and a little bit of a lower cut. So I think this will give that kind of elegance to the top, and I don't feel that bad about not making the top because of all the stuff going into the skirt. Eventually, as I do more of these but make it fashion kind of pieces, I want to try sewing more and more and more, but to actually get this done, make it a project I felt like I would actually finish, we're gonna go with the store-bought top for now. I can do what I want. Now, we talked about the belt and the ribbon. I bought a set of these just for this one. This is a cinch waist belt, so it will be nice and tight, which is kind of what I wanted, because I wanted to make sure when it went over the skirt, it helped hold the skirt up. I think what I'm gonna have to do is measure the ribbon around my waist and then put that onto here without the rest of it being attached, so that this can still stretch, but the ribbon stays in place. Does that make sense? Hopefully when I actually make this, it makes sense. Now, we do want the skirt to light up, so we do have some battery-operated Christmas lights. I will sew these onto the skirt also, and I will try to hide this either in the bottom of the skirt or under the belt. That way I can turn it on via this handy-dandy remote control, and we should be able to actually have a light-up skirt. It was really important to me that the skirt lit up like an actual Christmas tree. I did get some stars to go into my hair so that we can kind of bring the whole Christmas tree together and have the star on top of the Christmas tree be these little stars in my hair. The light doesn't really want you to see them, but they're really cute. They're little things, and I think that I'll try something else with my hair. Make it actual fashion. Wow. And the piece de resistance on top of everything is our garland. Now, it's not the most expensive looking garland, but I didn't want this dress to be like $1,000, and I needed a lot of garland. So I found these. They came in 2 packs of 50, so each 2-pack was 100 feet of garland. I think we ended up with 300 feet of garland just to be safe. I did do a test run, which I might put a clip here of the test run, where 200 feet was just a little too short to actually make the dress fully covered. And so I had to wait even longer to order the last 2 extra. I wanted to order the garland from Michael's, and they wouldn't let me. It was in my cart. It was, you know, it said it was in stock. It kept letting me do it, and then said not in stock. And then I went to check, and it said it was still in stock, and then it wouldn't let me order. And then it was a whole mess. So we have this. I think it will look great on camera. In person, it's a little cheap, but I think it will give us the look that we're going for. It will cover it, and I think we can gussy it up to look really fancy. It is now time to actually make this happen. I hope you're excited because I'm excited, and I really, really hope it works. Hello and welcome back. I finally got this thing on the dress form. So as you can see, one, I need a name for this dress form because I honestly have no idea. You can see I made my extra waist because I got some body. Addy. You can see here that it's a tie, and because it's a tie, I really think I need to cut the garland on this part to make sure I can get into it. So I think the first two pieces need to be separate pieces. Does that make sense? And then the rest of them can just kind of loop around all the way down. I will check in with you as I do it, but otherwise it's pretty much just going to be me sewing, and I'll try to insert some clips of stuff getting put on the dress form, and we'll talk more once I realize that this is too hard and I hate it. I do want to point out, look at all of this garland. This box, like all of that, is 100 feet. I currently have 300 feet to cover this. And I look like the skeleton. I look like death warmed over. It's okay. We're gonna do our best. Oh, I'm nervous about even like the first stitch. I'm nervous. Okay. Okay. Have to do it. Have to get it done. We are doing this today. So, I moved. It's a different day. It's okay. I had some things that I had to get done that didn't let me work on this a little bit more. But you can see kind of what it's going to look like. It's layering. It looks really pretty. I'm liking how this is turning out. We just have a long way to go. And I have a pest, don't I? I don't know what to do about her. No! Stop with the strings! No more string for her. I just wanted to let you know the trouble I'm dealing with. And the trouble's name is Arwen. No. No! Why? This lighting is really bad. Hi. It's late. This video is gonna take a lot longer to make than I expected. Should have known. Did it to myself. It's all good. I will see you probably tomorrow, where we will decorate this tree, make the belt, and then hopefully get to see the final product. But I don't think you need any more footage of me just going round and round on this thing. I'm gonna just zen up my mind, listen to the rest of this old podcast with Hank Green and Phil DeFranco, and just chill out for the night. Hello. Join me as I engage what I would call, unicorn mode? It's been a long time sewing this dress. It was a lot longer than I expected. Sometimes you can't just brute force your way to a timeline that you want. But we have used almost 300 yards of this garland to make our skirt. That being said, we still need to make a belt, decorate it, and add the lights. So real quick, let's touch base on the pros and cons of how I went about this skirt before we keep going. And I will actually take you on a trip inside the skirt. It took almost 300 yards of tinsel. Garland. Took almost 300 yards of garland. I am tired. I'm glad I got extra because I definitely needed it. I needed both of the extras that I got. I hand stitched all of this on here. I I probably could have done something else. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe if I practiced my stitching more, it would have gone faster. But it didn't. So we're here on another day of this project. We are going to end up with a little bit more of a, I don't know what the length of skirt is where the hem hits right above the ankle. Hey Siri.
Good afternoon, Amy. How can I help?
Siri, what is a dress called that ends right above the ankle? So it looks like we're going to end up with a T-length tree, skirt, dress, skirt dress. I know I probably titled this making a Christmas tree dress. I know technically we're making a Christmas tree skirt, but dress seems so much fancier and we're putting a top with it, so like it's a whole outfit. I would say that this is an exercise in ideas that I have that maybe I should think over better. Maybe I should plan out better. Maybe I should, you know, calm myself and reconsider whether my skill set is to that extent. Or it's just another showing that Amy has weird ideas at 3 o'clock in the morning and decides to actually make them happen. Both are true. Real quick though, we're gonna go into the tree so you can see exactly what I did inside, because I won't be able to show you this once I do the glam shots, and I think that it's probably one of the biggest things happening in this dress. So let's go. Woo! It's almost like a sleepover. This is the weirdest setup I think I've ever done. But you can see kind of the lines of stitching that I had to do inside. It's gigantic. I can fit under it. The people in my house can fit under it. The presents can fit under here. Everything can fit under here. It's a good old camp out. I don't know any camp songs. I've never actually gone camping. This is the closest I've ever been in my life to camping. What's the song people sing when they're camping? My mind just goes to Hey Arnold. Let's all hold hands here on the subway. So that doesn't work. Let's all hold hands here under the Christmas tree dress skirt. 'Cause we've all been stuck inside for way too long. This is why no one invites me camping. Okay. We have a tree to decorate and a belt to make. Let's go do that. Hello again. As you can tell, if I get the hot glue off of my camera, I paused doing this to do this. A big bow belt. So I took my cinch belt and basically I measured the ribbon to go around my waist and doubled it up because it wasn't quite thick enough to cover the inside of this belt, and glued the ribbon to go to the ends so that when this belt stretches, it stretches the exact amount I need to go around my waist. I left the clasps free and I had a lot of excess Velcro from some project. I don't remember which project, but I had a lot of excess Velcro. So I also fashioned a giant bow. It's a little bit octopus-like right now, but I think when it rests on the dress it won't look quite so tentacly. I have two matching pieces of Velcro on this side so that once the belt is closed, I can Velcro this right on top. and it will be a nice bow belt. Well, it looks like disco lights on the viewfinder, but yeah, we have a giant bow. It's gonna go around the waist of this, and I'm really just going to finish putting on these bells and whistles. It's not as easy as I thought, so we're just gonna fast forward to the reveal. Glitter, glitter, glitter! We have reached the end. We have reached the wrap up because I feel like I have some things to say about this project. One, it has been the bane of my existence, and when you can only do this between the time of 6 p.m. to whenever you fall asleep that night, it becomes a lot of work. And it becomes a lot of work over many, many days. I've learned that my muscles do not understand what position they need to be in to sew things. And I've learned that I still do not know how to sew. But hey, this project used only minimal hot glue and used no liquid stitch. I think that this was a really good challenge for me, and it's been on my mind since like late October, early November, and I knew I wanted to make it. And it just took me so long to find all the pieces and kind of craft the vision that was in my head. And this is pretty close to what I saw in my head. And what kind of came to mind when I was browsing all of those like dress form Christmas trees on Etsy. I understand why they are like bare minimum $200 something and upwards of like $800 to $1,000 something, because this is one of my most expensive projects ever. This is my Christmas present to myself, as well as my Christmas tree for the year. And it would cost probably about as much as like a decent Christmas tree. I've learned that, much like everything else, I hate the process while I'm doing it, just because like I feel frustrated and I'm like, I don't see the end. I can't see the end project while I'm making it sometimes. And when that happens, I get really like crabby, and it makes it so I don't want to finish the project. But once I do and see how pretty it looks and see how it looks in like the space, I'm very glad I attempted it. And I think overall with craftsmanship, I would give probably craftsmanship like a 7 to an 8 out of 10. I think the overall look is like about a 9 out of 10. I think it could be fancier, And since we're doing this as a like but make it fashion kind of outfit, then I think that maybe leaning even more into the extravagance kind of bears a little thought. If I did this again, I think I would, you know, incorporate other types of ornaments, maybe some like glitter, you know, other things to just up that extravagance factor. And I think if I did this again in like 2025, it would look very different. It would have a higher quality. I think it would be able to maybe like make more of the top. I think that like I would try to budget it out to get like the fancier garland, the kind that like looks more like tree branches. I think I would get all the different types of ornaments, and I think I would just, you know, start in like September so that I wasn't like hitting the bare minimum of a Christmas Eve upload. This may have taken my whole month with the time I had available to me, but I'm really glad I did it. I'm glad I didn't try to like shortchange myself and cut corners, and really just, you know, prove to myself that I could make the thing that's in my head. I love the artistry of like extreme fashion, and I'm not a fashion person. Like, I don't dress in like the highest of fashions. I don't own like crazy brands or anything, but I like Project Runway was always something I enjoyed growing up, and the idea of like taking those ideas and kind of learning how to do things myself is really fun, and is something that I've always wanted to try, and this was the perfect excuse to give it a shot. I do hope to do more of these but make it fashion kind of videos, and maybe I'll come up with a better name, but for right now we're calling it But Make It Fashion. And if you have any ideas of something that I should make fashion, well, leave it in the comments below, because I would love to know. I've thought about doing like video game characters or monsters. I've thought about doing other inanimate objects, and I just like, I like the idea of taking something and making it that like extravagant wow thing as much as I can based on my talent and availability and budget. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. I will hopefully do some more videos like this in the future, and I will try to get back onto my regular about 4 uploads a month, once a week mostly, schedule. And I really just, I hope that you have a happy new year. I hope that you're having a happy holidays if you celebrate them, and if you don't, I hope you're just happy. I hope that you are staying safe. I hope that you are taking precautions to make sure that the people that you love are safe, that you are safe, and the people around you are. Please remember that if nothing else, we need to be kind to each other, and we need to be aware of the effect that we have on other people. And beyond that, I hope that you learned that cats are adorable, insufferable craft companions, and that as always, I have been Amy, you have been wonderful. I can't do this with tea. And as always, I have been Amy, you have been wonderful, and I will see you in my next video. Stay magic. Bye! Don't let... See? No! Are you ready to go upstairs?